So we're going to get into the quick fire segment of the day.
Yay!
All right, you guys ready to come quick with these
Yes.
answers? All right, so what's up for today? With Thursday's announcement that Japan declared a state of emergency in Tokyo throughout the Olympics, which start on July 23rd due to the COVID surge in Japan, and that the games would be without spectators, what say you? Was the writing on the wall for this outcome all along? Let's start with Jose.
I'm not going to say I told you so, but I did. The writing is absolutely on the walls, and I've been a huge advocate of saying, you know what, one more year, just wait one more year. That's all. It's all about patience. But
Jose,
alas, here we are.
Say I told you so in French for the people.
Oh my goodness, how would I even say?
Je te l'ai dit.
Je te l'ai dit, comme tout bad so sad, là.
What she said.
So,
What she
so
said,
basically, I told you so. Yeah.
Okay, Gianna.
So
good one. I would say that's what they get for not letting Sha'Carri run the 100 meter, the 100 meter relay race.
Oh, girl, we're going to have to talk about this
Okay.
next segment. But
We're
yeah,
gonna
go
talk
ahead.
about it. I know.
Rob B.
I brushed up on my Japanese for this one, so ita. Told you so.
Nice. You brought
think
two different languages.
Damn. That's what I'm saying. Damn.
Yeah.
But overall, like, what do you guys think about this? That, state of emergency in Japan, in Tokyo, no spectators for the games. Do you think it's going to affect the athletes who are going to be competing?
I think so. Even if it's not consciously, they're used to being performers, so they're used to a crowd somewhat. And then also, I feel like a part of them, their mindset should have been prepared for it because they knew that a lot of the Japanese civilians didn't want it happening. So who was going to show up anyway? So yeah, that's my take.
Robbie?
Yeah, I mean we've been talking about this one for a little while, kind of keeping tabs on it, and yeah, the
Yeah,
writing has been on the wall for months. Health officials have been
literally.
stepping up and saying no, don't do this, and the Olympic Games are run every 4 years, so if you're going to offset it, do a 2-year offset, so it actually kind of makes sense, especially during a pandemic scenario. It I think for veteran athletes, that might get into their head a little bit. People who are used to having a crowd of 5 to 50,000 people cheering them on. But at the end of the day, they're true athletes and they're going to be competing at the best of their abilities against their competitors. But there's not going to be that extra wind beneath their wings.
Yeah, motivation. Might make them more focused if there's not a lot of crowd.
What do you
I
think,
do
Jose?
remember, though, when COVID first hit and the restrictions started with the hockey season. I remember watching the Bruins and with empty stands, and it was really eerie. And I found that the players were off. Any teams during that time, the players were off because they need that reassurance. They need those cheerleaders in the bleachers, so to speak, to, cheer them on, to encourage them. And I honestly think that this is going to be mentally very taxing for a lot of athletes. Yeah.
I agree with you
Good
in,
point.
in a lot of. I think for events where they are performing in a big stadium, that it might be less packed. Like, get into events, for example, where the venues are smaller, and that roar from the crowd, that cheer from the crowd, encourages the athletes. Or like gymnastics, something like that. I think that might be a bit jarring for some of these
True.
athletes and affect them. Um, Personally, gosh, I gotta say, like, a year ago, I was happy that they called it off because it was just far too soon. We were like smack dab in the middle of the pandemic. But then as sports started to come back, as a sports journalist, as an avid sports fan, I got roped into it again. It's like, okay, I'm glad you guys are back. I'm glad you're competing. I'm glad that, these athletes who are at the near end of their careers
Yeah.
have one more opportunity to compete.
Yeah.
So that's where I am now. Like, I understand the safety issue and how I don't necessarily Japan, had the correct foresight to deal with all of this. But at the same token, at the same time, I'm thinking about those athletes who probably wouldn't have been able to compete if it had been pushed back another
3 years past.
year.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
what would have happened to them. So it's a horrible dichotomy. I'm happy in one end, and then on the other end, I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope that everyone is still able to have a level head and go out there and compete to the best of their ability. I definitely will be watching. I've been waiting for this for a long time. I'm excited about it. I do think
Mm-hmm.
that, and Gianni will talk about a lot of this in her next segment, I
Mm-hmm.
do think that there are a lot of politics involved around the Olympics, but that's always the case.
Yeah.
That's always
Yeah.
the case. But hopefully everyone will get there and be safe and sound. Be safe and sound.
Yeah.
All right. So
Agreed.
that's our fire topic for today. Hopefully, you all will be turning into the Olympics. If you have any additional comments, tune in to us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and tell us how you feel. Tell us how you feel about this. We are now